because when the ear doesn't understand a sound, it calls it noise. But really, there's melody in noise, there's harmony in noise. You just have to listen, and then you'll start to recognize it musically. But to the untrained ear, uh, bird would sound like noise. If you went to sleep and bird woke you up, that'd be noisy. But if you're sitting around, sun, nice day, little bird chirps over there, oh, that's nice. So it all depends what you call music and what you call noise. We were musicians. I mean, Phil and Jerry and Bob used to just throw those guitars right into the amp, into their boxes and just let it feed back, and it was wonderful. We would just play, play, play. Then the song would start, and all of a sudden they would run back. So there was many rhythm devils during a night back then.
Yeah.
Whenever they went back to the amplifiers, we went crazy, and it became like a very noisy, immersive, I might say, experience.
I love your whole the spirit into sound thing, that like everything is vibration, and so that encompasses what you might consider noise. I find rhythms and patterns and all kinds of noises, and so that's something I wanted to ask you about, like how that cosmology developed over time. I mean, I think as drummers, we always have it instinctively, but then you really like connected some dots there, spiritually. And
Well, it all comes from the singularity from 13.8 billion years ago, the Big Bang, they call it singularity. And all vibrations, that was beat one. That was the beginning of time and space. So all of that started back then. Then 400,000 years after that, we're able to now read what it sounded like at the Big Bang. Well, 400,000 years this side of the Big Bang. And that caused the universe to inflate, and it became larger, and then the planets formed and the stars formed. And they were all about carbon, all the things that make up us, and food and everything around us. So all the vibrations came from the cosmos. A star that exploded a billion years ago, as someone said, it was the iron in your cheesecake or something like that, form. So that's the cosmology I picked up. I said, wow, everything is vibration. It comes from one source. And now we've learned to break up time and space and vibrations and use it in a musical form, because humans, when they first came together, used sounds to communicate and to warn other tribes and so forth that something is coming, just a language. And it always was verbal, and it was like rocks on rocks, wood on rocks, or stones on rocks. It was always, some kind of sonic tattoo. So once you understand that idea, then you can understand the spirituality of it all, because this is like bigger. This is the big picture, and we're just like we musicians are like the miniatures of what's happening in the cosmos, because everything is revolving and it all has an order. It's like a heavenly clockwork, and we have our 24 hours circadian rhythms, and we live within a certain time and space. And so that's how we define it, by playing music. And that's what our way of communicating at a very basic tribal, if you will, level. And that's why it means so much to people. And that's why we spend our whole life trying to make good sound. And you know how much you practiced 1 million hours to be up there on stage, just for a few hours. Can you imagine that? We played, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of hours practiced, but we only get really about 3 or 4 hours up there on stage. It's and we're lucky to do it, and we feel good to do it, and the people that we affect. Well, you see what you can do. When an audience lights up, that's it. And you're sharing the best of vibes, best of times.
I always think that especially drums. Uh, but a lot of things, but definitely drums. Coming from being taught African drums since I was like 7, I felt like those were the original psychedelics. You play drum grooves for a really long time, like you just get into a deep trance, and you
Yep.
start traveling dimensions, time,
Yeah.
things change. It's very, very much like
Your
psychedelics to me.
priorities change when you're in trance because
Yeah,
everything else falls away and you're in the now, in the moment. That's the most treasured thing to be. You
it
know, if
is.
it be now, here and now. That's
That
the
ego.
but that's when you're conscious. And so rhythm is the driver of that. It's auditory driving, it's entrainment, it's all the things that are healthy, and nature is efficient. You know, it's most efficient. So you want to beat in time with your surroundings, with your nature, whether it be in the city or be in the country, in the forest, and so forth. You want to be entrained with your environment, and then be able to reflect on it and be able to talk about it in music to other people. And that's what we're here for.